You mean bread butterflies?
Oh, yes, of course.
Hi guys, so today I'm going to be showing you how to make a Roblox GFX on Blender 2.8. To make a GFX, you would need Roblox Studio, Blender 2.8 and a Roblox woman rig, which will be linked down below. So all you need to do is click that link and download the woman rig and export the zip file. This is only the second GFX I have made with Blender. However, I was struggling to find good tutorials on it because most tutorials have the old version of Blender, and I just wanted to make one so that people could understand it on the new version of Blender, as they are very different. I'm really sorry for the super long intro, you probably just skipped over it, but let's get into the video. Okay, so the first thing you're going to want to do is open Roblox Studio and download the Load Character plugin by going down to the bottom left corner and in the toolbox and searching for Load Character in Plugins. I don't need to install it because I already have it, but all you do is click on it and click install. Okay, so now you want to go to the Load Character plugin on the Plugins tab, and all you need to do is type in your Roblox username or someone else's Roblox username who you want to load in. But make sure you spawn R6. Once you have your character loaded in, you're going to want to go to the Explorer on the right hand side and you click on your name and you go down and you remove all accessories and the head. When you've removed all the accessories and the head, you want to right click on your character's name and click on Export Selection and click on Save. Now I'm not going to do this in this video because my computer has been crashing every time I save on Export Selection because my computer is just terrible. But you're going to want to do that and you're going to want to click on Export Selection. Oh, and if you're wondering how I got my textures for this video, I just got my boyfriend to do this for me and then email me the textures, so if you're wondering about that. Okay, so you can just get rid of your character from there after you've export selection and you reload one of your characters in or the character you want to load in. And remember to spawn R6 because we're going to be doing this for the head as well now. I know that in this part of the video I am doing it for my head, but I had to actually just export the whole texture of my body without deleting anything in order to get my head texture, but I don't know if that was just a glitch, so if it doesn't work, I'll explain later. Okay, so if you're exporting the head texture and the head OBJ, then you want to delete the humanoid roots part and all of your body and any accessories that you want to remove. I usually prefer to have my GFX characters without a face and with freckles and blush. I know that's like not original at all, but I just like how it looks. So to do that, you click on face under the head section and you should be able to see the properties. If you can't see the properties tab on the bottom right, you just go into the view tab and you should be able to click on properties there. So now you want to go into the bottom left in the toolbox and go to images, and I type in freckles and blush, and usually what comes up is quite a few like decals of freckles and blush. I prefer to pick a lighter one so that it doesn't look too harsh. Once you've chosen the picture you want to use, you want to right click and click on copy asset ID. Then once you've done that, you want to paste it into the properties tab where it says texture. Here I actually ended up removing my bunny mask because then you can see the face and freckles more. And that's all you have to do for the head texture. You then right click it and you export selection again. Because of the same reason from before, I'm not going to export selection in this video, but that is what you need to do. Okay, so now you're all set, so all you want to do now is head on over to Blender. Okay, so now that you've opened Blender, you're going to want to find your woman rig. So you go to File, Open, and then you find the file where you have exported the rig. It should be called default.blend, but if it's not, it will still be there somewhere. And now you should have your woman rig. To spin the camera around, you just hit middle mouse and you can just spin around, and to pan the camera like this, you just press shift and middle mouse. So now you're going to want to remove the head completely by selecting it. Sometimes it might take a while to select the head, but you will eventually. So now you want to add the texture onto your woman rig of the texture that you have exported previously. To do this, you have to scroll up from the bottom here and you click on the left editor type, you click on shader editor. Once you've opened shader editor, you should see this. It looks very confusing, but don't worry, you only have to use one of the nodes. You zoom in so you can find this orange texture node, which is at the bottom. You want to make sure that you're going to the texture node which is on the bottom and not the one that's on the top, as you can see here, I zoomed out so you can see. Now you want to open image on the texture node, you click the little white image file thing, and then you find your texture that you saved for your body from Roblox Studio. As you can see here, this is mine. Now you're going to want to import your head. This is what I personally do. So yeah, I just go to import, then I go to wavefront.obj and I find the file which has my head obj file in. This is probably going to spawn somewhere like really far away from you or somewhere crazy and like the wrong way around. You just gotta move it. It can be a bit tedious, but you can move it however you want onto the head in whichever position you like. And I took absolutely ages doing this, so I'm just going to do a quick time lapse. Now we want to change the texture of the head. To do this, you're going to want to go onto the right and you want to scroll down so you can see this red colour thing. You want to cross off where it says the texture name there, and then you want to click on new. Once you click on new, it should come up with these options. You want to click on the circle next to base colour and select image texture. Once you've selected image texture, you should then click on open, and then you should find the file with the texture in with your head texture. To explain what I was talking about earlier about the textures, if you had a problem where there's part of it where it's see-through, like it doesn't load in the head or the hair texture, then you just want to export selection of your whole body texture and then use that texture as the image, and then it should be fine. Now to go into pose mode, you just click on one of the little circle things that are surrounding the body and it should just automatically go into pose mode. Here you can edit how your avatar is looking by moving their arms, legs, torso, head, anything. You just click on G for grab and you should be able to just move them around like I'm doing so here. You can also rotate and scale parts of the body if you want to. Just make sure you're clicking on each of the individual like circle things around the body part that you want to move, so that it only moves that body part. Just play around with this for a bit and then you should be able to eventually figure out a pose which works best for you. At this point I added a milk bottle into my avatar's hand because it's kind of her signature thing in GFXs. I just kind of like it. It matches the Crybaby Melanie Martinez aesthetic that I go for. And if you want to add something like this in, you just go on Roblox Studio and you just export selection of the item you want. And then if you click on import and wavefront.obj in Blender, then it should come up. So for this GFX, I'm going to use a HDRI. You go to hdrihaven.com and you browse their free HDRIs until you find one that you would like to choose. I wanted my character to be on a beach for some reason. I just thought of that, so I just found this nice beach one here and I decided to click on it. And then you scroll down and you should be able to see a download link, and then you just download the HDRI. To import the HDRI, you're going to want to go into shader editor and then click on world here instead of object. Then you're going to want to delete the background node. Once you've deleted the background node, you want to click on add texture and environment texture. You then place this next to the other world output and you connect the colour to this surface. Now all you have to do is click on open in the environment texture node and then you find the HDRI that you have downloaded and you click it. And now if you go into the render mode in the top right corner, you should be able to see the HDRI in the background. Once you've positioned your avatar where you want them to go, you can now get the camera view up. I had to add in a camera to the scene by clicking add and then camera. I'm not sure if this happens for everyone, but I had to do this because there wasn't a camera there for some reason. But then when you click on camera mode, you should be able to see what it's going to render. I didn't show this bit, but to make sure that your camera is locking to your view so you can move it around however you like, you must click on view and then click on lock camera to view. If there's a lot of noise, then don't worry about it because when it renders it should denoise itself. So now once you've got your camera in place, you want to click on the render tab and click on render image. Now you've just got to wait for your image to render. For some people it takes longer and for others it's quite quick. Mine takes around 5 to 10 minutes. And that's it. You have a rendered GFX with shadows and everything and a pose, and that's how you do it on Blender 2.8. If you like this video, make sure to go ahead and subscribe and like. This is my first YouTube video, so I'd really appreciate the love and support. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!